to get naked?
Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. It's Kimberly Kane, and this is a Tune Your Vibes episode today. I want you to know about an upcoming online gathering called Real Men Rocket. It is a happening just for you guys in the early part of next year to help you get really dialed in to your unique purpose and what you have to offer, because your desires, your particular way of seeing things, your energy are needed in this world, not in a way of an added responsibility on your shoulders, molded from everyone else's expectations of you, but in the way of greater freedom for you, freedom to operate from the foundation of your soul, your creative spark, that thing that's been in you since you were a kid and possibly locked away for a very long time. That thing is what you need to be bringing with you everywhere you show up, in your work and in your relationships, so you can be aligned with your core self. That's when your life becomes fulfilling. I'll be telling you more about it over the coming weeks and let you know when the doors are open for that. Here's what you can do to get an early bird discount. Become a part of the tribe. Join the realm. You'll get immediate access to the private online group where we can connect more deeply and you can connect with one another off of social media. Just go to nakedvibes.com and you'll see Join the Realm Tribe in the menu. Click on that.
Naked Vibes.
I love Halloween. It's that time, and I am set with crazy bags of candy and possibly a witch costume. We'll see about that. And then we have Dia de los Muertos a couple of days after that. And I found a fun read about different celebrations around the world for honoring deceased loved ones. A lot of beautiful, fanciful, magical traditions. And one thing is clear. We all have a need to remember those who came before us in some way. And some of these traditions were born out of a need to acknowledge death or transition because it's an inevitable part of our lives. Halloween was born out of the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain to mark the beginning of winter. The Celts believed this time to be a marker for spirits to come out and destroy their vegetation, leaving a barren winter landscape. So they would leave food and wine on their doorsteps to appease the spirits and wear masks if they left the house to blend in with them. In the 19th century, Irish and Scottish immigrants in America began to revive these traditions with more of an emphasis on the trick-or-treating rather than the religious introspection from their ancestry. So there's an article I found online at Smithsonian Magazine that lists 7 festivals around the world if you're interested in traveling to exotic places for their festivals of music and dancing, like the Obon Festival in Japan, where you see those beautiful floating lanterns on the rivers, or Gaijatra in Kathmandu. I would love to travel to some of those places and be in that festival atmosphere. A lot of these festivals, including our Halloween, has evolved into fun with a blend of fear because of our human experience with the unknown. We don't know what we don't know, and that's spooky. But along with the fun, there's a very real need to connect with the mystery of death, of what happened to our loved ones, to the question of where they are and where will I go? I've talked with a lot of men who really want to talk about these deeper mysteries, but they don't because who are they going to talk to? There's a suppression in our culture because we like to focus on the lighter, more fun side of life. And especially for men, there's the expectation of knowing how to fix things, how to handle things. But guess what? Death will not be handled. It has its own say. And if you leave it there, that can make you feel really powerless. However, what you can handle is your perspective and your response. Because there's a power so much greater than death, and that is love. And the power you have personally is the ability to tap into love which overcomes all things, death, and all manner of things that go bump in the night, like anxiety and worry and fear, because those are monsters unto themselves, and they can raise their heads on any given day or time for any one of us. I'm going to pop a song in right here because you know I like to do that. This is a song that was written by my sister after a horrific news story. I won't go into that, but you can look it up. It was years ago. And Dateline NBC used this song in 2 of their documentaries. You can find it on our CD music compilation, Oh Yeah. It's called Tell Me Walker.
There are some things that we'll never know for sure. There are others that we'll always think we do. Won't you give us just the simplest of clues? And if we beg you, will you tell us the truth? Tell me, Walker, did you do it? Tell me, Walker, did you kill? Tell me, Walker, did you do it? Tell me, Walker, did you kill? Tell me, Walker, is it you're a true believer? Tell me, Walker, how is it that you deceived her? And when you get down on your knees at night to pray, do you find the words difficult to say? Tell me, Father, did you give your only son to replace the memory of what you've done? Tell me, Walker, did you do it? Tell me, Walker, did you kill? Tell me, Walker, did you do it? Tell me, Walker, did you kill? Tell me, Walker, is it you're a true believer? Tell me, Walker, how is it that you deceived her? Tell me, Walker, did you do it? Tell me, Walker, did you kill? Tell me, Walker, did you do it? Tell me, Walker, did you kill? Tell me, Walker, did you do it? Tell me, Walker, did you do it? Tell me, Walker, did you kill? Tell me, Walker, did you kill? Tell me, Walker, did you do it? Tell me, Walker, did you do it? Tell me, Walker, did you do it? Tell me, Walker, is it you're a true believer? Tell me, Walker, is it you're a true believer? Tell me, Walker.
Yep, spooky because it's real. That was Tell Me Walker from Frankly Scarlet, the duo of my sister Kelly and me. And you can find that on Apple Music. I'll put a link from the show notes on nakedvibes.com. We have access to divine help at all times. It's up to us to connect with it, to be receptive. Transition points in life and in nature lower the veil, make it less dense. So it's easier to access your intuitive abilities. Your job is to pay attention. Right now, the veil is thin because we're in seasonal transition. This is what I mean. An experience of knowing that a person not close to me had passed on. She was an acquaintance, a friend of a friend I had only met twice and years earlier. Her name was Cindy. I was standing at the kitchen sink getting a glass of water, and suddenly I saw her in my mind's eye. She looked straight at me and said, "Tell Lisa to get her shit together." I was like, wow. I knew instantly that Cindy had just passed. And that news was confirmed the next day. It had happened at the same time she appeared to me. I did pass that message on to my friend, and she said, "That sounds just like Cindy." And she felt like it was a powerful message she needed to hear. Cindy had apparently been counseling her to stop messing around, or she was going to lose her husband. I find it interesting that though Cindy had probably told her this in life, my friend Lisa found it more powerful to hear it coming from her beyond the veil. Ponder that. I told this or some similar story when I was speaking to a men's group, and as usual, a few guys reached out to me. One said, "I wish I could tap into that, to be able to have those experiences." So I shared some of the ways he could open up the possibilities. He, like most guys I know, had always felt awkward talking about it and more about doing the work of becoming more receptive. And he had never really heard anything about how to use his intuition. Anything he'd heard before just sounded too woo-woo to be practical. Or it just didn't feel like a masculine thing to do. He felt like he was dropping his guard. What he didn't realize is how much more armored he could feel by opening up his sixth sense. Another guy in that same audience became a coaching client because hearing me talk about it in such a practical and useful way, he knew he could share some experiences he had never told anybody else about, not even his wife. Wow, guys, that's what's really spooky here. That is a huge secret to carry. And it's all because of a culture of shame around claiming your sixth sense. Your intuitive abilities are vital to your wholeness. No one would shame you for saying you have a heightened sense of smell or good eyesight, and that needs to change. It's vital for your health and well-being. Developing your sixth sense is not about being able to see ghosts. It's about being able to receive and interpret information that's coming to you from a non-physical plane. And honestly, that's where your most powerful intel is coming from. Yes, you sometimes need to verify it in the mental or physical plane, but the non-physical or metaphysical is always providing you with what you need. And like most people, you've closed it off just because you don't understand it, or because you feel alone, because it challenges your sense of intelligence, or because it touches into emotions that you don't want to deal with. My dad felt the same way at times, though he was a very spiritual person and a lifelong Bible teacher. As he got older, though, he became more and more interested because he felt safe discussing his own experiences with me. He knew I wasn't going to judge him or think he was ridiculous for entertaining the idea that his vision of his deceased mother coming to comfort him was as real as he felt it to be. He could see her and hear her voice as if she was in the room with him. And most of all, he could feel her love and her comforting presence. And in his last days, he was very tuned in. I'll share those stories with you inside my new private group called The Realm. I'll put a link in the show notes on nakedvibes.com. I really encourage you to join me there because we all need a tribe, a safe space where we can be seen for who we are, get information about the deeper things that contribute to our health and wholeness, and to have some fun with it all. So yeah, there'll be music in there for sure. In the last episode with guitarist Mark Thomas, he talked about how different men are from women when it comes to opening up to creative energy. So a stigma keeps men from tapping into a higher level of awareness. I can help you with that because yes, you guys do approach it differently. And I love to see you thrive as you recognize that you can trust your intuition. This goes beyond your gut instincts and accept it as a strength and a courage that will open you up to much more happiness. You'll hear some of the great examples of how it works in that conversation with Mark. So go back and take a listen to that if you haven't already. If you're enjoying this show and getting some insights that will help you on your life journey, then I've got some exciting news for you. There is now a premium version of the Naked Vibes podcast. It takes a lot of time and a lot of love to produce a podcast. So when you become a premium subscriber for just $5 a month, you help me keep the show up and running. You'll get an extra episode every month. Go to the show notes on nakedvibes.com for a link and I'll see you inside. I want you to know about an upcoming online gathering called Real Men Rock It. It is a happening just for you guys in the early part of next year to help you get really dialed in to your unique purpose and what you have to offer. Because your desires, your particular way of seeing things, your energy are needed in this world, not in a way of an added responsibility on your shoulders, molded from everyone else's expectations of you, but in the way of greater freedom for you. Freedom to operate from the foundation of your soul, your creative spark, that thing that's been in you since you were a kid and possibly locked away for a very long time. That thing is what you need to be bringing with you everywhere you show up, in your work and in your relationships, so you can be aligned with your core self. That's when your life becomes fulfilling. I'll be telling you more about it over the coming weeks and let you know when the doors are open for that. Here's what you can do to get an early bird discount. Become a part of the tribe. Join the realm. You'll get immediate access to the private online group where we can connect more deeply and you can connect with one another off of social media. Just go to nakedvibes.com and you'll see Join the Realm Tribe in the menu. Click on that.
Are you ready to get naked?
Let's set emotions to the side. Your feelings about it, your judgments on it. And let's look at it from the angle of gut instincts, because that's something that doesn't rub the wrong way as a masculine man when I say it. Gut instincts aren't the same as intuition, but closely related. You know it makes sense to pay attention to your gut, but you can level it up by understanding more about your intuition and allowing that gut instinct to become more powerful, usable, and reliable. It's Halloween. It's a great time to talk about this. Lots of fun. I want to see you dive into understanding your intuition better so you can feel or sense what goes bump in the night before it ever bumps. Yeah, that makes a huge difference. It can make a huge difference in your relationships, in your work. I mean, think about that. Knowing going into a meeting that what you had planned to talk about, you just feel a vibe in the air before the meeting starts. And instead of continuing to just dive into what you were going to do, now you're shifting your gears and you're going to approach it a little differently because someone in that room has got something going on that needs to hear you speak in a different way. And if you'd approached it in the way that you had planned, they wouldn't have heard it. But by shifting gears because you felt something, now you're seen and heard. Or in your relationships at home, you walk in the door and you can feel in the air that something is amiss, right? I mean, you know what I'm talking about here. And if you don't, then you really seriously need to stop and take some time to weed out all of the extra noise going on in your life, to get quiet and to start noticing some things. The best way to do it is start noticing nature, start noticing what's around you, and also to dive into music and see how it makes you feel, okay? If you're a man of faith, I get that this could feel a little too woo-woo for you, a little outside the lines of what you're allowed to be thinking about in your faith journey. I can assure you it's all in the same bucket and you're safe in it. We can talk more deeply about that inside the realm. One way you can access your intuition, as I said, is through music, using it as a tool intentionally. I was just listening to John Legend song called Who Did That to You from the Django Unchained soundtrack. It's a real mysterious sound. Look that one up. Take a listen. Turn it up. Sit back. Listen. I'm curious to know how it makes you feel, which is different from what you think about it. Pay attention to how your body feels when you're listening to it. I'd love to know what comes up for you. You better call the police. Call the coroner, call up your priest. Oh, who did that to you? Wish I could play it for you here. Yeah, look that up and take a listen. It's a perfect feel for Halloween. The cool thing about joining the Realm Tribe is I've got some playlists for you, so you can access some of these deeper feelings swimming around and let that awaken your creativity and your intuition. You'll be amazed at how powerful that can be for you. The Realm is a private group. It's not on Facebook or other social media, so you can be and are encouraged to be yourself. We'll have some monthly live Q&A meetups where we'll be able to talk about some of these things, and you can express what you need to express in that safe, fun environment. Go to nakedvibes.com and sign up for it now. I want to see you in there. We're going to have some fun. And you can cancel it at any time. I hope you'll be a part of what shapes this tribe, though, because I created it for you, for a successful, creative guy who needs and wants an outlet to connect with other guys who are also there to master their lives so that they can get more out of their intimate relationships and more out of life in general, out of their careers, and feel a greater sense of satisfaction and happiness, and to love music because, as Mark Thomas said in the last podcast episode, music makes everything better.
Tune your vibes.
So we are at Halloween, and then a couple of days after that, we have Dia de los Muertos, a largely Mexican holiday full of joyful celebration rather than mourning for dead loved ones. And that's associated with All Saints' Day, All Souls' Day. So connect in to this time where the veil is thin. Pay attention to how your body feels. If you get chills when you hear something or see something, if you just have a general feeling of something you should pay attention to, take note. This is your intuition working within you, and it will get stronger and stronger as you learn to use it. Meditate, pray. And I'm going to play my latest song. I haven't released this yet, but I want to play it for you here. It's about the safety in getting grounded in the mystery of being human, but also knowing that we're not from here. We come from a much greater place, and we will return to a much greater place. This is called Dark Sky. That was my newly recorded song, Dark Sky, from The Realm. Yep, I'm recording under the same name, The Realm, as my private group tribe that I've been telling you about. On the inside, you can get access to music before it's released, regular live meetings with me and some special guests, some Q&A, and a whole lot more goodies. I've got a lot of fun stuff planned inside The Realm. So come on over and join me in that. Please subscribe to this podcast on Apple Podcasts. And if you're enjoying it, consider becoming a patron of the show for just $5 a month. That will help me keep the podcast going so I can continue to reach out to guys like you who are smart, successful, creative, and who want more out of life. Greater wealth, more intimacy, more joy. You'll find links for everything that I've talked about in the show notes on nakedvibes.com. Keep tuning your vibes and love big. You have the freedom to be naked and unashamed about who you truly are. Stand in the truth, love big, and you are aligned with the greatest power in the universe. I'm Kimberly Kane, and this is Naked Vibes.